friends, family. It's going to be a solo episode today. Hopefully, if I can, handle all this by myself. I'm Evan. I don't have Ross here with me today, but we both thought, we got to give him something, and he's out of town. I believe he's in Chirac right now, so everyone wish him luck. But no, he's in Chicago, the Windy City. Not sure what he's doing. Didn't ask. I'm bad about that a lot of times. I don't know, because Giselle, my fiance, will always give me shit about, like, she'll ask, like, oh, hey, what's so-and-so doing, or did you see such and such, this happened to him, and I'm just like, oh, no, I didn't, or, like, I saw it, maybe, but didn't really come up in conversation. We kind of just usually send memes back and forth. So that could just be, maybe I'm a bad friend. I don't think so. I think that I just like to give everyone their space, let them do them. If it involves me, I'm sure it'll be brought to my attention, but I'm rambling, and that's not good because I think we're 2 minutes in. So we're going to have to focus in here. But like I said, we both thought we should give you guys something, so I can hop on here maybe and just give you guys a quick update on what's been going on. Obviously, we were promoting the golf match, me and Ross versus Crumbs and Gav, aka Don't Know Ball. You guys know at this point. So it happened. Not gonna tell you what occurred, but we did film it to the best of our ability, and we did capture what we could to the best of our ability on the $20 microphones that I bought the week of, because I had kind of forgotten. They're like, hey, need some clip-on mics, and I was like, oh yeah, for sure. Amazon Prime, Jeff Bezos, hook it up. And hey, I'll say, I thought it came out pretty good. Some parts good, some parts complete shit, and I'm gonna have to, try to figure out how to edit around that. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, the match in general, and I think me and Ross had kind of talked about it, and I'd mentioned it to the other guys too. It's like, obviously that one was a match, a versus, if you will, a duel. But we're like, dude, now that we have these mics, and we can always upgrade to get a little bit better ones, that's on me. Shell out, I'll open up the checkbook a little bit more the next time. But it was a lot of fun, and maybe we can travel around to different courses, do the whole thing. I don't know if we're gonna go down do the whole golf channel, good. We kind of all have, full-time jobs, and that's not realistic, but something that would be realistic, just going out, getting to do more golf content, make funny videos, little versus matches, who knows what. But I have about 250 videos to sift through and edit, so that is what I'm working on with that right now. And we're hoping to, I'm not going to give a date. I mean, I don't want it to be a long time away, obviously. I'm trying my darndest to get it all done, but I think we're going to release it into maybe a 3 or 4 part series, just to make it a little bit more palatable. But what was my main point on that? See, and this is tough. Don't have a co-host, to rope me back in. So basically, I got a lot of editing to do, and I'm trying to, figure out how exactly I want the video style to be. I'm trying to figure out length. I'm trying to figure out all that stuff. But just know, it's coming. And I can't, unfortunately, tell you the result of the match, because I would love it if everyone would watch that video to find out the outcome. But yeah, enough of that. Basically, that was just wanted to give a quick update on that. All right, so I mean, this obviously won't be an extremely long one, but just come on here, maybe talk about some of the current events going on. I know everyone watched the WNBA All Star Game. I know that was. I enjoyed that. Obviously, I was like, hey, I could watch Dustin Poirier's retirement fight, the UFC pay per view, but I said, no, thank you. I'm gonna support my women, and you know what, you fellas, it's time to pay. It's time to pay our queens more, or not even more. It's time to pay them what they deserve, right? That's what the shirt said, and I know everyone said it at this point. It's a tired take, but if we pay you what you deserved, and not me, I'm not paying you shit. Like I said, I'm not even. I'll much rather get 20 to 30 viruses on my laptop illegally streaming the Poirier fight off some random website that I find than, clicking over to ESPN 62 or whatever they were airing the All-Star game on. And I'm not, it's no offense, but it does get annoying when they're trotting out there in their little pay us what we deserve shirts and they're all giggling as if it's some, are you wanting to you want to be overpaid? Is that what you're telling us? Because, like I said, it's a tired take at this point, but pay you what you deserve, as far as I know, unless everything I've seen is just a lie, because I can't, I don't know how I would for sure know, but the WNBA loses money year after year after year after year. And recently they've been on a pretty steep incline, I would say, and I think they're still losing money. Probably because they're having to start paying the players more. I don't know. But so that's the thing. It's like, do you want to be overpaid? Because if that's the case, then you got to say that. You got to print that on the T-shirts. You got to say, overpay us, motherfuckers. But that's not as, socially acceptable. It's much more, pay us what we deserve, and then you get a, giggle about it, and then not ever actually say or explain anything about how that would actually work, how they would be able to pay you guys more when the league itself doesn't, draw in currency, shall we say. Maybe they start, well, no. I was going to say maybe they start selling, maybe they start doing, pump and dump schemes, kind of how, the Hawk Tua girl did. They have Caitlin Clark run, a pump and dump, and then it's boom. Or it's just however successful your pump and dump scheme is, there's your money. There's your salary for the season in, Moon Coin or whatever the kids are investing these days. I don't know. But yeah, we all saw the All-Star game. It was it was a lot of fun. I saw a nice highlight online of a little bounce pass into a little drop step. That was freaking. But anyways, get off of that. I don't know what else there is to talk about. Can't talk about the Epstein stuff because it's just not real. Apparently, apparently that's the bill of goods we're being sold at this point. It's just, I know that there's tons of evidence of everything that's been accused, going back, 2-3 decades at this point. And I know that we had been, talking about it and saying stuff's on our desk. We're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to get to the bottom of that. But you know what? Nope, that's not. That's actually, we're not going to talk about any of that. So, fucking wrap it up and don't ever talk about it again. How about that? I think definitely one of the funniest things, though, was, I think it was Bondi that had got asked about Epstein, and then everyone saw it. Trump jumped in and he go, "What? Where you're talking about Epstein still?" He's like, he was like, "Dude, It's raining right now in Texas, and you're talking about you want to know about Epstein? Wow. All right. He's like, wow, man, that's I wouldn't expected that of you, but yeah, no, I guess if you wanna, he goes, Pam, I don't know if you wanna talk to her. I wouldn't, and she's like, yeah, no, sure, I'll talk to him. And he's like, didn't really get the hint there, but that was great. He said, what this Epstein guy, dude, fucking guy killed himself 5 years ago. You guys still give a shit, dude? What the guy that the dude I hired, my FBI director, his whole running point for the last year, that guy still asking questions. I guess we can fucking go over it. The same old that we've been telling you, nothing happened. Guy was working by himself and then killed himself, But we are gonna, there is one other person that is gonna, spend the next few decades or life in prison. Old Ghislaine down there in Florida, but it's not. It's unrelated. Yeah, we had said it. Yeah, we had said she was like kind of like a, valet type of deal, if you will. But no, that didn't happen. But she's gonna stay in on those charges. And you guys are going to shut the fuck up. How's that sound? Ready? Team on 3, team on me. 1, 2, 3, team. So I guess that's the plan. I will say kind of disappointing, Kind of disappointing that not disappointing, obviously. I could care what does or doesn't come out. Disappointing, obviously, in the fact that we're supposed to just pretend that we are actually this stupid, and they get to act like they think that we're this stupid. That's what's disappointing. To where it's just like, oh, okay, so this is the game. Sounds good, coach. Let me water up real quick. You know what I mean? But yeah, probably get off of that. Probably get off of that subject before, I wonder what sounds I got on here still. My little soundboard here. That one's, see, and this is the issue. Me being by myself, I'm such a goofball, dude. I didn't have the volume turned up. Here we go. Let's try this one.
That's fucking illegal.
Ha ha. Dana. All right, so that brings up a good point. We could talk about, I guess we could talk about the fight real quick. I know if you saw it, you saw it. If you didn't, you didn't. The man Dustin the Diamond Poirier retired. What a retirement. What a fight. Fought Max Holloway, a dude who he had fought 2 other times, but I'm not going to be picky about it, man. Dustin was always so fun to watch. Like, literally, every time he would fight, like, it's gonna be a scrap. It's gonna be a banger. The whole, all the fun little UFC adjectives that we get to throw around. But I think, there was something cool that I think it was DC had said too, kind of during the retirement or right after the fight, to where it was like, he said, like, you know what, man, this is a perfect retirement, because in sport, when you retire, at the end of your career, when you're done, the reason that you're kind of retiring, you're done, you can't go on any longer, or shouldn't. A lot of times you're not going to go out on a win, and he didn't. He lost last night, but fucking damn near shit, almost didn't. Second round, at the end of that second round, he almost put Max out of there, and it was more than just that spot too, but. Yeah, dude. I thought that was well said by DC. It was like, rarely in sport do you go out on top. So so no shame in the loss or anything like that, obviously, and it's gonna suck. That's definitely a fighter that I feel like you're gonna notice isn't getting booked anymore. You're like, fuck, man. Go back and watch some of his old fights and do the whole thing, but aside from the actual fight, something that I think is interesting that's going on with the whole new UFC thing. And I was talking to Giselle about it last night. As I said, I'm not buying an $80 pay per view, especially when the only fight I care about is the main card. And don't get me wrong, I love the UFC. I love watching the fights. I'll watch all the fights, but I am not. I'm just not gonna pay $80 when I know for a fact that a lot of the fights just aren't gonna be that good. I'll watch it and I'll enjoy it, but I'm not gonna. You're not gonna swindle me into paying $80.
That's fucking illegal.
And I'm just gonna find a Russian link, brother, and we're gonna stream it. And that's what we do, and that's what we've done, you know. And if I really, really like the card, like for instance, Tommy Aspinall card, take my money. Hamzat, take my money. You know, I feel like I can. I feel like I can judge a pretty good card. So, but they're getting away from ESPN, obviously, and there's talks of Netflix. I think Paramount, probably all the other big, probably Apple's in there too. I would assume. And I really, really hope that they at least get away from this current model. If they don't completely get away with the pay-per-view model, then it at least has to drop down to a lower price. And I think that there's tons of other really good options that they could do. For instance, like something that the NFL does is like, I mean, they have deals with cable and bigger or like cable networks and stuff like that. So that's one thing. But having a premium package like NFL Plus or NFL Red Zone, whichever one it is, I always get confused. NFL Ticket, or the NBA Ticket, whatever it is, all that type of stuff. Whatever service they go to, people are already going to have to be subscribed to that service. Have there be an additional, I don't know, 10 a month, or I don't know, however much you want a year. Like, the good thing about the UFC is there's no seasons. So it's just constant. So, maybe go $10-15 extra on that, say it's Netflix. Say you pay your Netflix subscription, you pay an extra $10 to $15 a month to watch every UFC card every weekend. And then if there's some real big pay-per-view, maybe they can do a few less pay-per-views per year, but they actually genuinely make it a crazy card and stack it, then charge $50 to buy that card when it comes around once every, 3 months, rather than sometimes they've shoved 2 awful pay-per-views within 1 month, wanting us to pay $150 for potentially, just worthless cards or just cards we don't care about, or there's one fight on there, Just make it a little bit more reasonable. That's all I'm really asking. And I think it can be done, and I don't see how it wouldn't grow the sport. Like, there's still plenty of room in the UFC for growth. I mean, all these sports are still growing as far as I know. So just relax a little bit. You guys got bought by the TKO. Like, you're good now. You're set. You don't need to still just like fucking penny pinch at every single corner. Just take as much money you can at every single corner. I've usually not complained about it too much, but I mean, like, you don't really pay the fighters too great, or at least as far as like the percentage of what you make. Like, we were talking earlier about the WNBA players. Like, they kind of don't have a leg to stand on because the WNBA is not necessarily turning a profit or turning like a huge profit to where that they can shell out a bunch of money to the players. But the UFC has like whatever they're making. I know it's not as much as like an NFL or a NBA or whatever, but the percentage that the fighters are getting versus what's, I'm assuming, just being kept or whatever, is a lot different. I think it's like, NFL, MLB, NBA, those guys have like the collective bargaining agreements that are anywhere between 48 to like 51%. I think that they get of like revenue shared amongst the Um, the players, and I think like the salary cap or whatever, and then so that's like 48 to 51%, and then the UFC is somewhere of like 10% or like between 10 and 20%. It might be like 10 or 19 or something like that. Maybe lower, but I don't think so. but but that's the 10% of the revenue made from the UFC is getting paid to the players. So them guys could be walking around in little T-shirts that say "Pay us what we deserve," but Dana would just cut them from the from the company most likely. So, oh yeah, so that Coldplay concert thing. I just real quick, um, the dude put out a statement, and obviously he did the whole like, "Oh, I'm sorry," blah blah blah, and then at the end of it, he put in something that was like, I also think it's like, fuck, man. Should I pull it up or should I just? No, I'll just say basically. This basically what he said at the end was like, it's also kind of fucked up that you guys would do that. Like, he was saying something about how like privacy is like not valued these days or whatever the fuck. It's like, brother, you're at a Coldplay concert, dude. You're in like a stadium and like fuck you. You know what I mean? What an asshole, dude. I couldn't even believe that. I can't believe that his fucking PR team was like, "Yep, yeah, nope, sounds good. Go ahead and defend yourself a little bit at the end there." Fucking dickhead. But yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna wrap her up soon. Let's see. Ross texted me. Let's see what he said. I told him I was filming a solo ep here. All right, so he shot me in. He shot me in a little brain teaser here to end it. Or not a brain teaser, but He said, "Would I rather fight an orangutan once a year with a sword, or fight a chicken every time I get in my car?" You know what? You know what my first instinct was, and second instinct, I'm going back on it. But first instinct was give me the orangutan because once a year I could fucking. First off, I get a weapon. Second off, I could train. You know what I mean? I could make that like an event. Um. Oh man, because that kind of gives you some purpose right there. Like a chicken, it's annoying, and then you're just killing a chicken every single day. That kind of sucks too. I mean, although free chicken, low calories, man, I don't know. Because also like I definitely like orangutans more than I like chickens. You know what I mean? Not like eating wise, just like looking at them and pointing at them and stuff. But yeah, I would say yeah. I'm gonna say the smart thing here. I'm gonna say give me the chicken every time I get in the car. Now I wonder if that's every time I get in a car or every time I get in probably every time I get in my car to drive. So, and that sucks. But hey, but you know what? He said fight a chicken, right? Let me go back and look at this. Because if it's kill a chicken, that's a little bit more time consuming than just fight a chicken. Where was it? Okay, fight a chicken every time I get in my car. Now, I would probably just toss it out the window, or roll its neck up in the window or something. Like I'm trying to dispose of this thing quick because a lot of times I'm running late, so I'm trying to get in the car and just get in, rev it up, and go. You know what I mean? I don't have time to fight a chicken, so maybe in that case I should pick orangutan. But well, it doesn't say I have to kill either of them. But here's the thing: if you're fighting an orangutan, what at the as soon as that orangutan realizes that you are fighting it, now it's a fight to the death. Now you're fighting to the death. You know what I mean? Let me get a sip of water here. Ooh, a couple gulps actually, a couple good gulps. But yeah, once the orangutan fucking and now you're fighting to the death. And all right, yeah, I mean, all signs here are telling me it's got to be chicken. It would be annoying. It would be messy, but I feel like after 4 months, you're gonna find an easy way to make it not as messy, a lot more efficient. And then, like I said, dude, you got chicken all day, every day, fresh chicken. And then hell, maybe I open up my own chicken shop. I don't know. Shit, if life gives you lemons, what do? You open up a chicken shop. So yeah, that's my that's my final answer. I think I'm fighting a chicken every time I get in my car. Yeah. Also, too, if I have a passenger, shit, then it's a 2-on-1. Now what, chicken? You know. But all right. I mean, 30 minutes. I think. Well, might get chopped down a little bit. Might get edited. Probably definitely will get edited. But yeah, hey, fuck, not bad, dude. Not bad. So now, hey, I know it's just me here. I know that you might be getting a little bit nervous, thinking, well, if it's just Evan. Like I know every other time they've managed to figure it out, but if it's just Evan by himself, is he still going to take us out the same way that he brought us in? Well, folks. I got one answer for you.
Cold eyes upon me, they stare. People all around me, and they're all in fear. They don't seem to want me, but they won't admit I must be some kind of creature if they're having fears. From my body house, I'm afraid to come outside. Although I'm filled with love, I'm afraid they'll hurt my pride. So I play the part I feel they want of me, and I pull the shit.